Again, we have been robbed as a people. We have seen the governorship elections that took place in Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa states. Anytime you hear the army chiefs or the police chief telling us that they are deploying people to election grounds, you see all the armored cars, you see all the ammunitions they are displaying before elections. They give the impression that they are coming to work. But the truth is that they are only trying to intimidate the opposition. The truth is that they are only coming to our line to supervise thuggery and to supervise the rigging of the elections. They do this by arresting a few persons, beating a few persons, to give you the impression that the security agencies are working. But unfortunately, that is not the case. Elections are the cornerstones of democracy. If INEC misses elections, if the security agents connive with politicians, the country is finished. For you to impose leaders on the people violently, it is not only criminal, it is unacceptable. What Nigerian politicians are doing today is that they are inciting Nigerians towards revolution. But on that day of the revolution, where we shall take our country back, tongue and tribe may differ, but we shall take that country back. I just believe that Nigerians have not been angry enough and hungry enough. But all these things they are doing, you will be in position of authority. Nigerians cannot go and vote. You steal our vote. You pay police officers and soldiers. You snatch ballot boxes. This will not continue. Since Tinubu said that power is about grabbing it and running away with it, our elections will only become worse. It will only become worse. Now, they told us about beavers, they told us about IRF. Beavers is to know if you are a registered voter. You do your thumb printing, they see you and they confirm. But in the governorship elections, they took the ballot papers away from where people are supposed to vote to a secluded corner. INEC officials were there. Police officers and soldiers were supervising them, and they were thumb printing, without accreditation from beavers. And at the end of the day, they rushed to announce results, just the way Yakubu Mahmoud announced the 4 a.m. result of Tinubu. All these things they are doing, it will not continue. No condition is permanent. Nigeria is only waiting for Nigerians to save Nigerians from a few Nigerians. If you contested the governorship election, it is very easy to cancel these results. Very easy. You must call for a forensic examination of the ballot papers. Let us match it with the number of persons that were accredited by beavers. This is not rocket science. If you contested as a governor in Bayelsa, Kogi, and Imo State, go to court, because they always say go to court, but you must prove something. And what you need to prove is that let us compare those thumb printing on the ballot papers with those people that were officially accredited by the beavers machine. They were not accredited. They just took ballot papers, started to print. In this modern age, is this in Nigeria? Is this your renewed hope? And look, Yakubu Mahmoud, you have shown that you are not creative. You have shown that you cannot organize elections in Nigeria. You have shown it clearly. You are not putting Nigeria above your self-interest. These days, these are days of technology. We must tailor our democracy in line with modern reality, in line with our culture, in line with the nature of our people. We don't need election where people are traveling to vote. A boat capsized, and when it capsized in Bayelsa State or in one of those states, all election materials were destroyed. We don't need those kind of election in Nigeria. We don't need election where people are wearing a police uniform to do things on election day. We don't need elections where a police officer will be standing and they have already compiled the result of election before accreditation. Police officers are there. They supervise the rigging. How can we don't need this kind of election? We don't need elections with ballot papers and ballot boxes. We have passed that. Technology has passed that stage a long time ago. What do we need to do? Very simple. INEC, be creative. We have our biometrics in our national identification number, in our ATM card, in the bank, in our international passport, in our voters card, PVC. What do we need to do? Very simple. Configure our biometrics into our SIM card, our PVC, every of our details in our PVC, they have our biometrics. Configure them into our SIM card, which means every SIM card in your telephone is a voter's card. Which means on election day, you don't need to go to any place for election or to face talks. No. From the comfort of your home, you just need to vote with your SIM card on your phone. And the system electronically will just register it. So electronic voting and electronic transmission of results. We don't need beavers. We don't need thumb printing. We don't need all these things. We don't need deployment of armies and soldiers. No. Please, this is what we need now. My name is Frederick Omoyoma Odorige. I really hope that we shall come to a stage in Nigeria where we are doing this type of voting with our SIM card from our telephones. For those beavers machines that have been bought, take them to Nigerian embassies abroad so that Nigerians abroad can use them to vote. Nigerians in diaspora can use them to vote. So the beavers machine are not even wasted when we start to use our phones to vote. Nigeria can only get it right. Our elections can only be purposeful if we choose our leaders rightly and if we have elections that are genuinely conducted. It is not enough for INEC to be asking for billions and billions and billions of naira for elections. Once we begin to vote with our SIM cards, one, it will be far less expensive. Secondly, you will find out that people will not be injured or killed. People who don't need to be seeing all this deployment of soldiers and army. No, we just press your vote from your house, from your phone, wherever you are. There'll be no restriction or curfew on election day, no movement. No, we don't need all of that. We must tailor our elections to our culture. I really hope that INEC will take this very, very seriously. I am Comrade Frederick Odorige from the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria. Thank you all.